What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Black men, I really want to have a conversation with you about being married. Now, I have never been married at all. I've been close to being engaged, but never married. And I just want to say that my father was married, my grandfather was married. I believe it is the greatest commitment that a man can ever make, which is to be responsible for a woman, to take care of a woman, to be faithful to her, the family, her children, through the good and the bad. It is a hard job to do that. I mean, even being a business owner, small, medium enterprise, it is tough work. You're there every day. You know, you're not owned by the business owns you. So just imagine you have a wife. You have to be so responsible and so forward thinking, and your mind is moving at all times to take care of this woman that sometimes you look at her and you're like, man, I just don't want to see her today, right? So I understand that. And I understand, like, for most men who have went through the process of having this woman, and for whatever reason, God forbid, it doesn't work out, and you lose all of what you have, partly your identity. It's a shame to go back and tell your friends that you have found out over the years that, hey, I'm no longer married. You haven't been dating because you've been married. You're no longer living in your nice house because you haven't been married. You probably can't see your kids anymore because you haven't been married. Whatever the case may be, your life is completely different, altered due to the failure of that marriage. And then for you as a man, you're rebuilding your own personal identity, which may be, but not to include all of it, but not included like living by yourself, downsizing, not having many friends, levels of loneliness, and then at a certain point, learning about you. And so many guys, when you're committed to the family, you know, men were like servants. You know, when we are in a community or with the wife, we're self-sacrificing, right? And then you start to really figure out some things about yourself in that time frame. What you like, what are your needs and your own desires. You go out on dates and maybe you figure out, like, that's not what I want, right? I'm kind of okay with myself. And then you realize something, that you're free. This is the point I want to talk about with MOWRY and Cory Hardrict. This is a guy who's been married 14 years, finalizing their divorce today, or on April 25th, amidst their 15th wedding anniversary. The lady is gone. The kids are gone. And what is his perspective about marriage now? I can almost guarantee you he is not interested in that. I have never met many men that after being divorced, the first thing they've told me is they would like to get married again. I would say less than only 2% of men say that. And what men are saying is, I'm free. And when I want to know free, I mean free from what? Free from the struggle of being married. Responsibilities in which I feel like I was not appreciated for. Living in a sexless, loveless marriage. Getting looks from other women that make me feel more important than my own wife. Spending large amounts of money on a woman who I felt like let herself go, didn't want to work the relationship work out, didn't appreciate anything that I wanted to do for her. And so what you see with these guys is that once they get divorced, they don't want to get back into the marriage situation again. And then you wonder what's going on. Is it the manosphere that's doing this? I would argue that Dr. Dre is not in the manosphere. Dr. Dre is not, in my honest opinion, listening to Andrew Tate all day. Or Cory Hardrict, I would doubt that. You see, a lot of the things that these guys go through and the positions that they've reached to. Because even before you come to the red pill, you just can't listen to the red pill or a manosphere content creators and be a blue pill guy, and then all of a sudden you just become converted. No, you have to have an inclination that this is not right how things are working. So then once you listen to some of these guys, you'll be like, wow, this is how I've been feeling, but maybe I just couldn't articulate it. And there lies the particular issue that we're talking about, is that men, after going through this experience, they tell other guys not to go through the experience. When I was a little kid, this is before any Manosphere or Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels and even myself, there was a consensus that guys told you, once you get married, the sex stops. Something I always heard. I heard it in barbershops, the sex stops. I've heard recently from Brother George, the kids will come definitely before you. So you want to have kids, the kids come before you, because those are her kids now, your wife. I've heard men complain about the fact that women let themselves go physically. And then, the sex is marriage, but if I go out and get a woman that doesn't want to have sex with me, then I'm cheating. Horrors about marriage counseling. I mean, all of these things, I've heard. And almost no guy says, I really want to sign up for this again. This is what I'm looking to do. And I suspect that Cory Hardrict will never, ever marry again. Because the question would be, what is the incentive to do so? And that's the question that people in America need to answer. If these guys are to throw it all away again, what do they get? I mean, that's what we want to talk about. What do these men get? Guy, you're going to get married to this lady. X, Y, and Z is going to happen. What effect on that or in your life is this particular woman going to provide you? And what some people are going to say, well, it depends on the kind of woman that you get. And I get that. True. But on average, what are guys going to get? That's what I want to know. And the consensus is that most guys are going to get not much. It seems like a very painful ordeal. And guys want to go out and tell everybody that they can, stay away from the courts. And the thing about it is, like, Cory Hardrict can't come out and say it, but he doesn't want to date. He probably feels like there's no real value from dating. And the question is he wrong? You see, this marriage thing and concept in the United States, I suspect that a lot of guys dealing with what Kevin Samuels termed the modern woman, a lot of ladies in today's world, do they even feel like in a marriage, in a partnership, that they should have certain levels of accountability to that person? They should look at things from that person's point of view or perspective. Because the guy didn't want to get divorced. I don't think that matters. The no-fault divorce is just like, look, I feel like leaving you because, whatever the reason is. And the idea is like, Tia Mowry's not going to be able to get a guy like Cory Hardrict, probably. It's sad for her, but probably not going to happen. But Cory Hardrict will be able to get somebody, if you want it, like her or better. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.